Hey Sean, I just wanted to put together a quick video on how to use the events area of your website, and that will update. I'm going to jump out to the main website here. That'll update your events page right here because you had said you wanted to take some notes, and I just figured having a video handy to watch over and over again is much handier than notes. So I'm going to assume right now that you're already, when you go to make a change, that you're already logged into your account. We're not going to go that far back, but this video assumes that you're logged into your account and you're at your dashboard, and you're just going to navigate over here to events. Now we're just going to worry, in this video, we're just going to worry about these first two items here, the actual events overview and how to add a new event. So for now, let's just go to events, and this is going to give us a quick overview of all the events that already exist. As you can see, there are 3 dummy events that I set up that already exist. 1 in November and 2 in December right here. And I'm going to just jump back out to the live website so we can see that. So we're in November, there's the 1, and if we navigate over here to December, there are the other 2 right there. All right. Okay, I'm going to go in what seems to be slightly out of order. Instead of worrying about just the events overview and editing stuff first, I'm actually going to walk through adding a new event first, and that'll make everything on editing events that already exist more intuitive, because it's almost an identical process. So to create a new event, obviously you're just going to navigate over to events and go down to add new. This is where you're going to put the title of your event. So I'm just going to make up a random title here. So there's the title of your event. And I'm also going to put in some dummy text right here to describe the event. This is just some stuff that I had, some what's called lorem ipsum text that I had just copied and pasted. It's just like placeholder text. So that will be the description of your event. I'm going to save this as it is so we can jump out to the main site and get a look at what this actually generates before we walk through the rest of the process or the rest of the controls that you have when you add a new event. So before anything ever goes live in your events area, or actually in any aspect of WordPress for that matter, you actually have to make sure that you hit the publish button. Otherwise, it's just being saved in the background in your database. So in order for us to be able to see this on the live website, we're just going to hit publish, and we're going to go back out to the events page, and here we are. That was actually we didn't go over where to add or change the dates yet, but this is the new event that we just added. As you can see, the title is Great Jazz Guitarist Mark Croto. It's on the calendar as well as in the blurb above. And if we actually click on the actual event and go to the event page, there's the title right there. There's the date, and there's the descriptive text that we just added as well. So now we're going to go back into the back end, and we're just going to cover some more of the fine details that you can add to each event. Okay, so back in the back end of the website, this little panel up here, if you've ever used any kind of Microsoft Word editing thing, you probably have a pretty good feel for what some of these little controls are. If you want to make a word or a sentence or whatever bold, you would click right here. If you wanted to make it italic, you'd click right here. If you wanted to set up a bulleted list for yourself, you would use this right here. If you wanted to set up a list that was numeric instead of bullet points, you'd use this. Here's something to add a quote in block quotes. If you wanted to left, center, or right justify your text, you would choose one of these options after highlighting your text. If you wanted to make this word that I've just highlighted into a link, you would use this, or if there's a link that already exists and you want to break it, you would use this. And these things over here, these are just editing in full screen mode and some other little things, nothing very important. So those are those are the things that you can do to actually format some of your text. If you want to add a picture right within the description of your event, you would put your cursor wherever you want that picture to show up. I generally put it in the beginning, so I'll just show you how to do it that way. So I would place my cursor right there, and I would click on this Add Media button right here, and I'm just going to randomly pick something from the pictures that we already have uploaded. Um, let's see, just for example, I'll just use this Snug Harbor image right here, and I'll put Insert into Post, and we'll click Update. And then if we go back out to the live version of the site and refresh the page, you'll see the changes that we made. There's the image that we added right here. There's that bold text. We didn't actually officially make any of the text a link, but if we had, it would show up down here. Now, a quick little hint here. Adding a picture like we did in the last step right within the text is not the same thing as, if you watch where my cursor is over here, it's not the same thing as adding a featured image. Let me jump out to the main site again. So the way that we did it, Sean, it will just add a picture right within the copy of the description of the text. What a featured image is, and I'm just going to do that real quick. I'm going to get rid of this actually because it's too big. But if we want to add a featured image, we would just click Set Featured Image. And again, WordPress automatically takes you to the images that you already have uploaded. If there's something on your computer that you want to use and it's a picture that you haven't already uploaded to WordPress, you would just click on Upload Files, by the way, just as a side note. But so to actually have a featured image, I'll show you what to do here. You just choose the image that you want to use, and you would click Set Featured Image, and then when you update, the difference between what we had before and the featured image, when I refresh this page now, this Snug Harbor image is going to go away because we deleted it, and the post is actually going to have a featured image. Now it looks very similar in terms of what it just did because my last image I actually put in the beginning of the text. But the difference between that and a featured image is going to be the fact that when you hover over the event when it's in the calendar, for one thing, this image up here, that is actually a featured image. If we had just used that Snug Harbor image like we had before, there would be no image that showed up right there because that wasn't a featured image, that was just a picture within the description. So that's the main difference between adding a picture to the description and having a featured image. Personally, I like to have a featured image just because you do get this nice little image in the thumbnail when you hover over the event in the calendar, and then that picture also shows up again when you're in the back end, or actually when you're on the full description page. So I just think that's a little bit nicer, but either way, now you know how to do both. All right, so now to get into some more of the finer details, things like changing the times and the locations and stuff like that. To set or change the time on an event, you will just, this is the start time, as you can see, you'll just click right within this text area and it will bring up a series of calendars, starting with a month that you're in and then taking it out 2 months. So say I wanted to make this event happen sometime in January of 2014. I would just click on the date that I wanted to set it. So we'll set it on Saturday the 5th, January 2014. And then if I want to change the clock time to say, I don't know, 7 p.m., that's how you do it. Everything right here is a drop-down menu. And same thing with the end time. When you change the date on the start time, it actually automatically changes the date on the end time. So let's say this is a 2-hour gig. There we go. That'll change that. To put where the event is happening, you can use a venue that you already have saved, and you can, let me just scroll up here real quick, you can add a new venue right here if you just click on this tab area underneath events, or you can use one that you already have saved. So I'm just going to use Snug Harbor Patio, And these two check boxes right here, if you leave them checked, you'll have a Google map showing up, showing your customers how to get there, and you'll also have a link to Google Maps right there. I personally, I always leave these checked just because I think it's kind of a nice, handy feature to have. If you want to add an event organizer, you can choose somebody that's already saved. I have your dad, your mom, and yourself saved as event organizer, so I'll just choose you for this. In this case, obviously the website will be your own unless you want to add the website of the performer or some other external website that you think would be useful. You can add that there. You can add a cost here if there's a cost for the event. This is the currency symbol. Obviously, it's the US dollar symbol. You can change that in the background if you want to. I have no idea why you'd ever want to do that. And then you would just put the numbers in here. So if it was $15, you would just type in the 15.00 here. And then the last thing that I do, I don't mess with anything right within this custom fields area, but I always uncheck allow comments and allow trackbacks and pingbacks, simply because those two things are for blog posts. They just allow your customers to leave you feedback on the post page, event, or whatever it happens to be. But since it's just an event giving them information, I don't really see any need to give them the ability to give you feedback. It seems kind of silly. But if you ever did want to, give them the ability to give you feedback, then you would just recheck those right there. And that's about it. There are some other, minor things that you can mess around with, but feel free to just play around with the rest of these menu settings. And then to update the changes that we just made, again, you'll just click Update. Jump out to the main website and refresh the page. And you'll see that there's a start date, end date, start time, end time. There is you, Sean, as the organizer. Here is your Google Calendar with a link to the Google Maps. And that's about it. We didn't actually give it a price, so no price is showing up, but the price would actually show up right here if you had given it a price. And the last thing that I'm just going to show you real quick is going back to the back end. I'm not even going to walk you through all the steps because they're identical, but if you wanted to make a change to an event that already existed, you would just click on the events button and that would give you an overview of all the events. And say, for example, you wanted to change a time for the charity buffet. When you hover over an event, you get this drop-down menu. You'll just click on Edit, and say, for example, you wanted to have the charity buffet run until 10 o'clock instead of 9. Same thing. Just go in there and make the change, hit Update, and that takes care of everything, no matter what area of the event you wanted to update. If you wanted to update text, if you wanted to get rid of this picture, if you wanted to add a different feature image, whatever you wanted to do. It's all very similar to adding a new event, so there's no sense in walking through every step of editing. So there you have it. I think that should cover you for adding new events, editing existing events. But if you have any issues or whatever, you can always give me a call. All right, there you go, Sean.